Coach. Thanks. Located appropriately for his career win total at 347 Don Shula Drive. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium here in Miami, Florida. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Miami Dolphins. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here we go, 6 yards. Come on, D.
A first carry for Leonard Fournette. Fournette, a first down, still going. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's two ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
Throwing on first down. Bryant. And a quick throw here. That's complete. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yep, the lanes are there. Go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is, putting his foot in the ground and going.
So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Looking to throw. Bryant. Flushed out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Christian Wilkins make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. They got to figure this out. They got to figure him out. 4 sacks last week. Now one in the first quarter. What do?
Well, great pass rushers usually have a go-to move. But the best pass rushers, they have counters to their go-to move. So they'll show you that. Then when you adjust, they counter it and still get to the quarterback. And you don't pile up that many sacks. What do you have, 4 in the game last week? Without having some go-to moves with counters.
And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal. From the gun, Bryant. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Well, that opening drive looked good for a moment there, but they'll wind up being turned away thanks to the missed field goal.
And those especially hurt when you come into a game on the road. You're trying to get things to go your way early, and now you suffer a setback right out of the gate.
Now a first down run is sniffed out from the start as they'll drop him for a loss of 4. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Second and 14. And that's complete to Adams. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Whip. Watch the whip.
They'll look to throw here. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline.
Get ready.
At their own 38-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Jaguars. Leonard Fournette, touchdown number 15 of the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
On first down, Taylor. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Watch safety green. Watch safety green.
Now a give, right side. It's Taylor trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
You must be dreaming. Chance.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Jags will have great field position to start this drive as they take over on the short side of the field. Fournette, a first down carry. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light better.
There he goes, left side. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Leonard Fournette, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And the kick makes it through, but flags come flying in as well. It appears we're going to get a roughing call tacked on. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's caught by Geronimo Allison. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back to throw now on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Get ready. Slam, slam, slam. Bang. That's great. Wheel. Check, 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 check. Check, check 43. 6. Under 10, under 10. Tight yard. Squeeze. SOS, SOS, SOS. Try. SOS, SOS, SOS. Switch. 80 weapon.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They shakes him off. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 26. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. It's been all passing all the time on this drive. 5 for 5, and now 1st and goal.
Feels like a case of until they stop us, we might as well keep running the offense that we like to run. Don't change up and do something different just because you think you need to.
No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down. And if you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally. And as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space. So you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do that. That one didn't work.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Right now, no questioning the toughness of this Jaguar defense. This is 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
first carry for James Conner. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Now Leonard Fournette. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Okay, just like that. Just like that. Shit.
On second down now, it's Howard. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the gun on 3rd down. Bryant into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Patrick Onwuasor. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 14-7. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. Well, if you're going to give him that kind of time, he's just going to shred you.
You might as well put a sofa out there for him. I mean, that's unbelievable because I don't care who you are in coverage, but that amount of time, someone's going to shake free, and he's going to be able to throw the ball with a whole lot of confidence.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Looking to throw on second down. Bryant. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Operating from the gun, Bryant. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
It's our time. It's our time.
They'll throw now on the final play. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he whips that one incomplete there. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one taken just inside the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
A gain of 3, second down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it again with Fournette. They're still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Fournette. And an alley to run. Touchdown, Jaguars. Leonard Fournette, 32 yards. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
A 7-yard loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Now we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. This is taken at the 10. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense. 1st down and 10.
At their own 24-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he's got the 1st down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A very solid gain of 27. They'll toss it to Fournette. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
1st down, Jaguars.
This is Fournette, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Stop your body.
Fournette on the toss to the right. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. From the gun, Bryant. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A Jacksonville 1st down on a pickup of 17.
Set, ready. Pittsburgh. They can't hang with us.
On 1st and 10, Bryant. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
He's coming. He's coming. Double up. Check 99. Check 99.
Back to throw. Bryant. And he will find his man on the outside. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first.
Watch that in. Watch that in. Tight end right. Peek in. Hey, look, 48. Look, hey, we don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. I got you, boy. Check. Go. X3. Echo.
Looking to throw. Bryant steps away to his left. Now he'll pull it down. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here's 2nd and 8. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
He's checking. Crash. Zip it. Let's go right here.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now that turnover might just about do it. Here, 4th quarter, the lead that you've got, they can just run the football, run the clock.
You're exactly right. They played smart, couple of 1st downs, and this one should just about be over.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Fournette. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
To throw on 3rd down, Bryant. And he completes it to Westbrook. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Here's Logan Cook now. It's always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big pickup of 38. They'll run on 1st down. It's Taylor, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They're going to look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And he's able to... get it back to the 41-yard line.
His guys take over 1st and 10 at their own 41-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
At the 46-yard line.
This one out quickly to Westbrook. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Mike Daniels makes the tackle. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll try the right side here with Fournette. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Bryant, he's going to launch, and it's intercepted at the goal line. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Now it's the backup, Rivers. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Rivers on the money, complete. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Here's Rivers. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Rivers to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Patrick Onwuasor up to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 20-yard line.
Show it up. Mike, 48.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it? Yeah. This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly. There. They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But that's the virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next? And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 48. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. And they will take a knee here. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. On second down, here's Fournette. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Back to throw. Bryant. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position.
Ground 80. You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't. Red. Check 26, check 26. Red. He's checking crack. Kill.
White, 89. One last shot now for Rivers. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Jaguars, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.